We're getting a start this time at least. Got to be,
okay, we have got one. So 5 red lights, long hold to add to it, and it's lights out and away we don't go. So I've now not got any lights.
Yeah, there we go. They've gone.
So lights out and away we go. It looks like it's a pretty decent start there for the Mercedes of JH. In fact, check this out. It's made a brilliant start. He's already up into P2. Bunny dropping back. We've got cars on the grass there in the background. It looks like we've all gotten away all right there. Connor's dropped back quite a way. Bunny going side by side with Ranger through the first couple of corners. Ranger gets pushed out wide, but it looks like they're all just about making it through unscathed. Rixie already up to P5 in the McLaren. Brilliant start from him. And in fact, he's looking down the inside of Ranger into turn 4. Ranger goes out wide to avoid him.
Well, they're 3 wide further back. Harry Tooman's round. Oh, he's just about held it. Sorry to cut across you there. Yeah, done well to keep it out of the wall, Tooman, after he had a really good start. He was lightning.
Rigsie's through as well, Jam. Rigsy up into 4th. Brilliant start for the McLaren driver. Southerners is losing positions as well. So both the racing points not starting well here. We had a car go quite wide. Background, I think that might have been Colker in the Renault, but JH then, he got away well and he's already 1.2 seconds ahead.
Yeah, brilliant start of 6 positions, Rigsy there.
Forming. Colker going for a move.
Colker and Clock, yeah, let's say side by side.
Lot.
She's got it done about halfway down the straight. It must have got a brilliant exit, or Clock made a mistake, but either way, that's Colker up into P8.
So Southerners and losing 2 positions off the start. That's not great for him.
Southerners got away with his little moment.
Oh, we got yellow
that's
flags.
Lewis round, right.
Lewis is round. I think he had it coming together with Guna there. Although don't quote me on that one. It's wet to wet on the strategy. Although given the changeable conditions, I'm not sure that will stay like that. Got a bit of a battle now going on for P5 as we've got, Ranger having a look down the outside of Rigsy into turn 2, but he's not quite close enough this time, but he's going to get the run through turn 3. He's got the inside line. They're going to be jostling for position then as Ranger's trying to hold it on the inside, but Rigsy has the inside now for turn 4, pushes the Red Bull out wide. They're going side by side into turn 5. Is Ranger going to try and hold it? Rigsy later on the brakes keeps ahead, but it is very close between the pair of them. Great driving. Rigsy holds on to P4 for the time being, but there's already a gap forming to Bunny in 3rd.
Yeah, it's going to be frustrating for Ranger because he looks to be the quicker of the 2 at the moment, and all this is doing is allowing Little Wiggy and Predators to close right up. We've got about a second and a half of each other. And yeah, as you say, Harry, a gap already emerging between them and the top 3.
I'll tell you what though, these are tricky conditions. Just on board with Predators here is pretty limited visibility. Especially when you're following behind. In fact, Rigsy probably won't be too bad out in front. He should be able to see where he's going.
Ooh.
A lot better than Ranger will at least. And they're still pretty close to each other through this final set. So we'll go to Southerners now then, who is only a few tenths behind Guna in the Alfa Romeo. Whole field still pretty close together through these first few laps. As check this out, is starting to close that gap now to JH out in front as Bunny sets the fastest lap as well. So after that poor start, Bunny's gotten his bearings. He's coming back at the Red Bull now. The Southerners gonna try and move down into turn 1. I'm not sure he is, but Wiggy might have a look. He's not quite close enough to Ranger this time. Oh, and he's lost it, Jam. He's lost it on the traction at turn 3, and he's hit the wall. He's got damage as well. He's lost at least an end plate there. Big hit on the wall for Wiggy, and well, he's going to lose a lot of positions from this. In fact, Guna might have a bit of a struggle trying to get past him here, and Southerners could capitalise on this. They're both going to get past the Mercedes though, and that is really unfortunate for Wiggy.
Yeah, we've got Tooman still down in P16. Harry just kind of showing how difficult it is to overtake in the wet. He's he's definitely quicker from the looks of it. Jib jab, a bit all over the place, but yeah, just can't get past.
Yeah, it's one of those really wet conditions. You have to be considerably faster than the guy ahead to go for a move. And, well, all those gaps that were only a few tenths have really spread out in a matter of one lap.
We've got
the closest driver to another on track, but he's still not going to be close enough to go for a move on Guna.
We've got Czech and Bunny moving in on JH as well for the lead of the race.
We'll flip over to that then. As you say, Czech now within a second of JH quite comfortably now. Sets the fastest lap as well. So they're chasing him down here as Tooman moves up to 14th, as Wee's just putting into the pits now. Not close enough to go for a move, and we'll quickly get back over to Southerners, because he might be going for a move on Guna into turn 1. He's using his battery, has a little look at the inside, but he's not going to be close enough. Thinks better of it, and he's going to have to wait his turn, I think. As we'll head back over to Predators, who's closed back up to Ranga once again. So Predators looking pretty good in these wet conditions.
Yeah, he certainly is. Tooman closing right up to Connor as well now, less than 2 tenths between them. I think they might be going side by side, but you know, I'm sticking with Predators like you are at the moment.
Yeah, in fact he's passed him. So there you go, Tooman up into 13th. This gap between Riggsy and Bunny is extending as well. So it's already becoming a bit of a 3-horse race out in front. Predators is sticking quite nicely to the back of the Red Bull, but of course the Red Bull being AlphaTauri's sister team, I'm sure Ranga won't be willing to let Predators through anytime soon. Southerners once again close to Guna, but not close enough to go for a move. And just further back, Lewis getting past Jib Jab as well.
Czech's
got
right on the
now,
back of JH.
Yeah, Czech right on the back of JH. But JH does seem to get quite a good run out of the final corner, and Czech again nearly losing it on the traction. Kolka pitting, early stop for the Renault. I don't know if you want to keep an eye on that, perhaps, Jam.
Could we switch to Inters potentially?
For Inters. I'm not sure it's quite dry enough yet. Or, well, not as wet enough yet.
Yeah, it's Inters, Harry.
Okay, so it could
and
be an
no wing
inspired
change,
call then
so,
from the Renault team.
Yeah, no wing change.
Maybe she's
purely strategy.
Yeah, maybe her hand's been forced somewhat then into going for that strategy change. Did Wiggy pit for another set of wet?
Yeah. No, Harry, no wing change. It's just strategy. It's just strategy.
Oh, no wing change. All right. That's the other thing as well. Of course, all the drivers will have fresh inters, fresh wets now to use at their discretion, given that the lobby was, of course, restarted. Southerners has gone past Guna as well, so apologies to him. We've missed that. But he's got past him and already put a second over him. So Southerners perhaps getting held up slightly behind the Alfa Romeo, but he's got a second to Bland. And that mid-pack, really, the back end of the top 10 has started to spread out quite a bit. We have got Bunny, Czech and JH, though, all within 8 tenths of one another as they're jostling for position. So this is the battle for first.
It's too early for Inters as well, Harry. Kolka just losing time, or at least not gaining any at the moment. Although, as I say that, she's just started to gain a couple of attempts.
They're not really lapping any slower though on the wet.
No, it could be about the changeover point, and I guess she just doesn't want to get held up behind Bunny in the pits. Yeah, she's gaining time as soon as I said that. So yeah, maybe
it's marginal though, really. I'm not sure it's quite ready just yet. None of the top 3 pits, so they all opt to stay out.
Czech's right on the back of JH, right, practically pushing him around the final few corners.
Predators is right on the back of Ranga, but we'll go back over to Czech then, because we could see change of guard for the lead here. But again, JH seems to get a really good run out of the final corner, and Czech's not going to be close enough to challenge him into turn 1.
Oh, he's hit the back of him.
But he's hit the back of him. Oh, he's broke late and hit the back of him, and Predators and Ranga are going side by side through the first corner. There's a bit of contact made as Predators had to cut a bit of the second corner, to avoid making more contact with the Red Bull. Excuse me, and they remain as they were for now.
Colker's still struggling for grip from what I can see, although she
But she's
doesn't seem to be
gaining.
lapping any slower.
She is gaining though, I think.
Could be an inspired strategy call if it pays off.
I wonder how long it will be until some of the guys realise that perhaps it is Inters. I don't know though. It seems pretty marginal at the moment. As we go back to this battle for the lead, as checks again looking close, but JH just seems to get the superior traction out of the corners, and it means that Czech can't go for a move here. Bunny's really close now to the Red Bull. I don't know whether Bunny is going to go for a move here, as I'm messing up the camera.
I want to see one of these guys dart into the pits, take a gamble on the Inters, because it's working for Colker. If there's any way the Renault team can get that information through to Silly Bunny, now's the time, as they go side by side for the lead. Harry, the Red Bull and the
Oh yeah, Colker's gaining a load of time now. It's got to be Inters surely.
They're all staying out.
All stay out. They all stay out for now.
Ranger's first, Harry, out of the top 5. He's taking the gamble.
Czech taps the back of JH again. But JH again getting the better exit. Now Bunny's got the run on Czech. It's kind of all a bit messy here. Sumner's pits as well from P9.
I think Colker's going to gain on all of these guys, Harry.
They're not close enough again, James. So still no change in position. Between the top 3 is Toomey now setting the fastest lap on the wets, so he's obviously got some pace.
Yeah, he certainly has. I think Colker's probably about to beat that though.
Yeah, there she goes, 49.4 for Colker. And yeah, you're right, she's going to jump at least Southerners.
Out ahead of Clock as well.
Clock, yeah, so yeah, she's definitely game from it. And I think these top 3 really do have to pit now if they can.
Oh, Lewis is in the wall, Harry. Yeah, that's him out, I think. Oh no, he's just about to get control. He's probably going to get quite substantial wing damage from that. I was going to say he's probably going to get a penalty, but he seems to have got away with it. Just caught the end of it. It was around turn 3 and 4. Because I've just found out that's 2 corners. But yeah, he's just pushing a bit too hard. I think just lost control and he was into the inside wall and then all the way over to the outside wall, so he's probably damaged both sides of his wing. Yeah, he has.
Czech going deep there, nearly hitting the back of JH again, but just about avoiding the Mercedes, and I think they all should be coming into the pits. JH again, a bit loose on the back end, and he's gone slowly through the turn 17, and they're all going to be close to one another coming into the pits. Bunny's doing the right thing and going slowly here to avoid damage, and here we go then, they're all coming in. Oh, but he's just smacked the back of the Red Bull. I've just completely jinxed him. So Bunny's got wing damage, he's going to have to change his wing. That was a really silly error. Silly error from Silly Bunny. Sorry for the pun, but well, that really that's something that should have been avoided. So he'll drop a few positions, I imagine. Bland and Goon are both staying out. We'll go on board with Ranger then to see how much he'll have gained from this.
He's gained a lot. He might come out on the podium.
Bunny's lost a position to both Rigsy and Predators. Ranger might come out net P3. I think it's going to be a net P4.
It's going to be safe and straight in. Riggs still ahead of him. It's going to be safe and straight in.
Yeah, Rigsy staying ahead, and Rigsy now up into a net P3. So he's definitely capitalised from a good start and a good strategy call, picking onto the Inters at seemingly the right time. Southerners has gained a couple of positions as well, obviously benefiting from Bunny's wing change, but Bunny is right behind him here. And obviously he's got some really strong pace.
Might see some team orders at AlphaTauri soon as well. Clock's pretty close to Predators, and obviously it will need as many points as he can get for the championship fight. But having said that, Predators holding his own very well in P8 and net P6 at the moment. Interesting to see what London can do on the strategy now, because they're going to lose so much time at the pit. Maybe try and stretch it till the dry weather if it does get that far. Although I should think that'll be a pretty tall order.
Well, the wets will just get chewed up and overheat, I think, as the track starts to get
Yeah,
drier.
He's struggling for grip. He's probably got to dart into the pits. But I think we're going to see him continue for another lap here, Harry.
glued to the back of JH. He's been staring at that Mercedes gearbox for pretty much the whole race, unable to get past, and it looks like that trend's going to be continuing as he's not going to be close enough to go for a move into turn 2, I don't think, unless JH has a poor exit, and well, he's not been having any of those thus far. Again, JH with a good exit, and I don't think he'll be challenged this time down into the braking zone of turn 2. Ranger's sent the fastest lap, Gunnar pits, but Bland stays out. Kolka now with the fastest lap, so Kolka's really come alive in this race after pitting early for the Inters, but Predators is pretty close to the back of the Renault. 2 tenths, 2.5, just above 2 tenths going into the braking zone, not close enough for a move, but he's definitely got some good pace here, Predators.
Yeah,
net P6, which is of course where he started.
Bland's got about 5 laps for it to dry up if he wants to hold it for the lead here. From what I've been looking at, he's losing about 3 seconds a lap. So yeah, he needs it to dry up as soon as possible, but I don't think it's going to do so. I think he would have just been better off pitting, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right, because if you see Gunnar, who was only a second or so behind Summoners, stayed out just that little bit longer, and he's, well, 6.5 off Bunny and about 7 behind Summoners. So he's really lost out from that.
This net top 9 are all kind of bunching up a bit though. We've got the 2 out front, and then after that we've got, well, 4th and 5th at the moment, and then a big group from Kolka to Silly Bunny. But yeah, they're all kind of bunching up within about 7-8 seconds of each other, I think.
Yeah, Briggsy, who had really good pace in the Inter Austria, does seem to be a bit better in these intermediate conditions than he was in the heavy rain. I was just noticing as well, the rain is definitely easing off, so I wonder if we're going to get the dry rain slightly earlier than perhaps we thought. In fact, if I look behind here on Riggsy's car, it almost looks like there isn't any rain at all at times, but obviously from this view you can definitely see there is some rain. Let's check this out. So it's the fastest lap, but again he's not close enough to JH. JH, I think, seemingly has some pretty good straight line speed, and once again not going to be challenged into turn 2. That's the thing I think that helps in the wet weather, James, is running lower wings. Straight line speed, it just means that you're basically impossible to pass, because you have to be that much faster to go for a move. And well, if you've got the straight line speed, it's not really possible.
I really don't get why Bland's pitted there. I mean,
well,
yeah, he was, he's come out in the points, and I guess he was losing a lot of time, but why not take that gamble for it to dry up? It looks like it is drying up quite a bit. There's I've just noticed Connor pitting again, so I think he must have accidentally put the wets on again at his pit stop, because he's now onto a set of Inters. But yeah, unfortunately for him, is in last place and in desperate need of a safety car.
Just going on board with Czech, it seems as though he's braking later than JH, carrying more speed into the corner, so he gains in the braking zone. But because JH is, taking a slightly slower entry, he's optimising that exit and just seems to pull away. And I think that's what's hurting Czech. I think he's almost too aggressive going into these corners, and it's losing him time here in the long run. I think if he adapts perhaps slightly more JH's driving style and just tries to optimise the exit, it might work out better for him in the long run, because Riggsy is gaining ever so slightly on the top 2 here. Any sort of mistake from Czech and it really puts him into the clutches of the McLaren. Sets his personal best of the race though, does Czech, but again JH pulls away on the exit, so it's more of the same. Line astern really, not really any position changes, as Bunny was close to Summoners but has dropped back again, so I wonder if he had a poor exit at the final corner as well.
Yeah, I think it's just showing how difficult it is to get close and follow right behind others in the wet. Got filters there, just fastest lap of the race. I think from that side he's definitely quicker than Kolka, but he just can't get close enough to make a move.
He's definitely faster than Clock as well, who you said should have been let through
a
few laps ago.
He was right behind him, and then yeah, he's dropped off quite a bit. But yeah, it's just kind of repeating ourselves a bit. Keep saying, oh, they're not quite close enough to make a move, not got enough on the straights to make a move. But I guess that's the downside to racing in the wet. But hopefully we should get some driving and back end if we're lucky.
Riggsy's actually gained a couple of tenths on the top two, so
Yeah,
he's clawing, chipping away at that gap.
he's gaining a lot. I just noticed on the straight, you can see he's gained on the guys in front. It's about 4 tenths in the last lap from when I've been looking at it. It was, yeah, Czech once again pretty much pushing JH around these corners in the final sector.
Yeah, actually, I've just remembered. I've got some insider knowledge. I don't know if they've been able to change it in the race start or whatever, but I know Bunny was using Czech's setup and it had quite high wings, and it does seem as though they're both struggling perhaps in a straight line slightly compared to the respective drivers that they're behind. So I guess that perhaps shows why they're faster in the final sector and through the corners and then losing time down the straights, because I think they are both running quite high wings, are Czech and Bunny, and that maybe explains why they're losing out in a straight line. And again, he'll gain through the corners, Czech, but down the straights JH has that superior straight line speed, and it really means we're at a bit of an impasse here. No position changes for a while now, or at least none that we've noticed. The rain has slightly picked up again, I'd say, but Riggsy now is within a second of the top two. So JH, I think, is holding Czech up, but it's hard to tell because you can't help but feel if Czech gets the move done, he'll only get overtaken again straight away on the straights. It's going to be one of those. I think Czech's going to have to hope on a mistake from JH, but JH thus far hasn't really made any major errors, or none that we've seen anyway.
Oh, we've got a Haas in the water,
Lewis
out of the race.
Is there going to be some form of safety car? Yes, there is. Full course yellows, and it is a safety car. So we have got a safety car then in the Russian Grand Prix here for SLR Division 1. And that might throw a bit of a spanner into the works. Is anyone going to pit, go for another set of inters, a fresh set of inters? If this rain doesn't cut out, if the rain doesn't stop, they will have to pit again. So it could be a good time to, if anyone is thinking about it, but it doesn't look like that's the case. As Bunny hits the back of Summoners. Oh dear, that was really silly, and he's going to cheese the pit lane. Probably shouldn't have done that, Bunny. Well, that was really silly, and Summoners, I think, got a penalty for that. I'm not sure, but he'll have, if he did, he'll have to serve.
No, Bunny got the penalty.
I could see it coming as well. I was just watching them all go round, and Bunny just completely missed his braking points, landed into the back of Summoners, lost an end plate, lost some wing, cheesed the pit lane, so he'll probably get penalised for that as well. And well, that's just rubbing salt into the wound, isn't it? But Bunny has done that twice now, ran into the back of someone and got wing damage, and really it was so easily avoided. And well, that's unfortunately just completely driver error, and I'm sure he'll be kicking himself on that one.
Yeah, I was also just about to say Tuman's got a nice gap behind him to jib jab. It's probably worth him whooping on a fresh set of inters. He'll probably get a nice pace advantage from that, and that's exactly what he's done. Jib jab followed him as well. Wiggy stayed out, and he's moved up ahead of Bunny, who, yeah, once again, as he did last week, jumping the start, just making unforced errors that he probably shouldn't be making, to be honest. But yeah, just a bit unlucky there.
Well then, I've just checked, Summoners didn't get a penalty for that. The other thing this does obviously is completely resets any advantage that someone may have had. The field completely compressed once again. This doesn't really benefit or hinder anyone that was inside that top 8, as they were all pretty much in a train, as Riggsy had caught up to the back of the top 2. So it kind of just resets everything really, and brings 9th downwards back into play. I think we're just going to probably see more of the same unless anyone has a poor restart, because once again, I mean, we didn't see any overtakes before now, so I don't see why it should change. Czech's going to have to do it on the restart, I think, if he's going to have to hope that he can get a good run out of the final corner, but I just can't see it happening at the moment. The rain really isn't easing up at the moment. In fact, as I mentioned just a minute ago, it looks heavier than what it was a few laps prior. So I don't think anything's going to change for the time being. Of course, we're not even, well, we're just over halfway actually now in this race. So a long way to go still. The safety car will be out for at least another lap, as the Williams of SLR Connor is quite a way back from the rest of the pack. Something's going quite slowly here. I think he's probably just trying to get a gap, get some temperature into his tyres.
Hopefully Connor can catch up as quickly as possible so we can get going, get racing again. This next lap, hopefully lap 15. Yeah, didn't catch what happened to Lewis, but from what I saw on the mini-map, he lost it like he did earlier on in the race. He lost it around turn 3, turn 4, and then hit the outside wall and kind of cut across turn 5 into that big runoff and hit the outside barrier.
My assumption would be that he was probably just pushing slightly too hard, lost the back end round that corner, and then couldn't quite catch the car in time before he hit the wall. But obviously we don't know the full story, but that's what I'd imagine would have happened. Of course we don't have replays or anything, so it's kind of just a guessing game. Connor will hopefully catch up to the back of the field.
He's still 35 seconds
in order
behind.
to restart the race this lap. I wonder if he's going slowly. Let's have a look. Doesn't seem to be.
No, he's getting a bit of time. He'll gain more as well if the safety car comes in, so he should catch the back.
It would be nice to get as much racing as possible. Obviously we've already lost a couple of laps. So it doesn't look like it's going to be in this lap though, safety car, unless it's a late call.
Although I guess the one positive of this, Harry, is could increase the chances of getting dry running towards the back end of the race. The longer a safety car stays out, because yeah, the rain looks like it's easing up a bit. Obviously the track's evolving, getting a dry line that we've not been used to seeing so far throughout this race.
Alright, well I think it's staying out.
Yeah, it's staying out, isn't it?
In this lap, the safety car. So yeah, the way that the safety car works is it either stays out for as long as it needs to until everyone catches back up. So if Connor had caught up this lap, it would have come in, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Otherwise it stays out for 3 laps. So now this is lap 15, the 3rd lap under the safety car, so it will be in this lap no matter what, although Connor is going to catch up to the back of the field, so we won't have any issues like that.
Yeah, we could have had it in this lap, but it is what it is.
JH in the Mercedes leads the way, as he has done ever since the first corner of the first lap. Check this out in the Red Bull P2, and he's been P2 ever since the first corner of the first lap. Riggsy up to 3rd, he's capitalised off a good start and then driver errors to get his way through up into P3. Ranga is 4th, he had a pretty solid start, had a good battle with Riggsy and just lost out there, but he's P4 in a good position. Kolka is 5th in the Renault, after starting perhaps a bit lower down than she expected. Made a good strategy call, switched early onto the Inters. And in fact, I'll just bring up the tyre life. Kolka 9-lap-old Inters, so she's definitely in a slightly more precarious position in terms of tyre wear than some of the others. Tooman down in 12th. Fresh tyres, so he's in a very good position.
Penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Not quite sure he's managed that beyond the safety car. I hope that's not a glitch, because yeah, that would have really messed him up through no fault of his own if it is a glitch.
Yeah. So then continuing through the field, both the AlphaTauris, strong race from them thus far in 6th and 7th, Predators and Clock. Southerners P8, so he's on a good drive, considering he started down in 11th and was down to 13th after the first couple of corners. We've got Bland in 9th in the Haas, safety car is in this lap. Gunu's 10th in the Alfa Romeo, then it's Liam, Tooman, Wiggy, Silly Bunny, who's made a couple of mistakes here and had to pit for a new front wing. Jib Jab, and then Connor is P16 and last. We've lost 1 car this far. As you can see, Lewis OD is the only driver out of this race. But here we go then, we're about to get back underway. Here's JH, is going to take the restart. Riggs has just got a penalty because Ranga's hit him, I think. So that's unfortunate for Riggs.
Well, he should get removed
because of it. Well, unless he pits again.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Right then, here we go. The field's all bunching up. You've got to be careful here not to hit anyone. So here we go. On the restart, can check this out, capitalising. It looks like he has. It looks like he's made a really good restart.
No, I didn't get a good enough exit.
But again, JH on the exit. Liam's also now got a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Who's close to someone? Summoner's right on the back of clock. Here we go then.
Yeah, I think it's going to get him.
Two of the championship protagonists here battling it out. Summoner's going to go late on the brakes, round the outside into turn 2.
Here comes Bland as well.
Got the move done.
Bland's going to try and thread the needle, I think, through both of them.
Battling it out.
He's
Summoner's now on the inside of turns 3 and 4. But Clock's going to have the inside for 5. And Summoner's backs out. Thinks better of it. He's going to get the switch back though. If Summoner's on a brilliant exit from Summoner's on the traction, gets past Clock. What a move, and Bland hits the back of Clock. A little bit of a tap there. I don't think he got any damage, but nearly concertina Clock into Summoners. But I think we're alright, and Clock goes deep. Clock goes wide there, and Bland's going to have a little look again. He hits him again. Does Bland again. I think we're alright for damage. But now Guna and Tuman are looking to get involved in the action as well.
Riggs might be making a move on check here. Harry seems to have superior straight line speed and just superior pace in the wet. I think he's too far back though. He turned off the overtake pretty early, which I'm surprised about because it looked like he might have been close enough to make a dart at the inside.
Or Bland had a look at Clock as well, but not close enough. Oh, and Riggs and Checker battling it out. Sorry, I need to get over to that. Riggs has just got a penalty for warnings. Trying to get the switch back. This is allowing JH to pull away. Riggs just has to back out this time though. Here we go. Going again. He's not had a great exit there as Riggs lost a bit of time. Bunny and Liam battling it out further back, and Predators is now having a look at Kolka down into turn 1. Is he going to go for it? Late on the brakes? Yes, he is. Trying it around the outside. They're going wheel to wheel.
Great move from Predators. Great move.
Done.
Around the outside. Kept it clean as well. Didn't go off the track.
Fair play to Kolka as well, leaving a lot of room. But she's had a bit of a compromised line there through turn 3 and 4. And Summoners has really caught up to the back of the pair of them as Predators gets loose on the exit of turn 5. But he's going to be alright for the time being then. Keeps ahead of Kolka and Summoners.
I sent Bland an invite, but yeah, unfortunately disconnected.
Predators holds on to P5. We've got a bit of a train forming now behind Czech. As Ranger and Riggs both closing in on the Red Bull driver. I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of tactics here from Red Bull. Perhaps trying to catch Riggs out and get Ranger ahead of the McLaren. Doesn't really look like it for the time being.
I reckon in about 3 or 4 laps time, Harry, sorry to cut you off, but I think it might be tried pretty soon from the looks of the track. Just kind of slips my mind because of all the action on the restart. But it's looking pretty dry now.
The rain stops as well. That's the other thing.
Still quite a bit of spray, but yeah, no rain, of course.
Tuman now battling out with Bland's AI. I think he's got the move done. Yeah, so Tuman up to 10th.
He's using those fresh tyres.
From him.
So he's using those fresh tyres perfectly to make as many
Bunny's
places
going
as
down
he can.
the inside, so Bunny gets up into 11th as well. He's on the charge after having to pit.
Jib Jab and Connor have come together.
Predators on the timers have gone kaput. I'm trying to find Predators because he was going for a move on someone and now we can't see. Cheers game. Ham's crying. Right then, Predators was I think going for a move on Ranger, but yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to see it because the game doesn't love me. Was Rick's going
I reckon it's dry, Harry. I reckon they're going to pit this lap.
It's pretty much dry, isn't it? There's barely any spray coming off the tyres. It's this lap or next. 100% Riggs is struggling. I think Riggs is struggling with tyre attempts as Predators gets loose there on the exit of turn 6.
Take the gamble this lap, I reckon.
Oh, and Ranger's off now. They're all over the shop. I think it is going to be this lap. It's going to be a dash into the pits, and Ranger's going to get held up by his teammate. Clock's going to get held up by his teammate. Bunny's going to get held up by his teammate. So it's going to be a bit of a mad dash really in the pit lane. It's going to be who can get the jump on whoever. And in fact, this could play into Czech's hands because obviously.
Rango going for a move,
conditions,
Harry. Sorry to cut across
the
you
wing won't
again.
matter as much.
They're side by side for that final podium place.
It's hard but fair racing. So credit to both drivers. They've got to be pitting now. Surely, look at it. The track's bone dry. It's going to be softs to the end, I think. Softs to the end. Yeah, top two pitting. Riggsy pitting. Ranger pitting. Everyone's coming in. So here we go then. Avoid a penalty. Oh, and Kolka's hit Predators. Kolka's hit Predators, and Summoners is having a cheeky little look there down the inside of the Renault. I think he thought about it.
Silly Bunny hasn't hit anyone this time. Bland choosing to stay out again for some reason.
Another Renault hitting a car going into the pits. So we're all pitting for soft. Southerners has just had some sort of weird glitch and been kicked out of the pit lane and put onto the track. And now his car's driving backwards down the pit lane, so
I hope that's not what's actually happening.
I really hope it isn't for his sake. I don't think it is, because if you look at his dot on the mini-map, it seems to be back on track.
As I
or
suspected,
is he just
Harry,
completely shafted by the race.
I've just ended up on board with Bland, and he's all over the place, and he's in the wall. Bland's binned it from the lead. He gambled to stay out, and he's
I think
paid
he's
the
just
price.
having connection issues. I really hope he's just having connection issues, Southerners, because otherwise that is horrible, horrible luck. So yeah, Bland is struggling. Oh, and he's trying to get out the way of Czech, I think, and nearly took him out in the process. Southerners is back on the track after his car was just going here, there, and everywhere.
That 5-second penalty has completely screwed over Riggs as well. He's down into P10. Net P9, so he's lost 6 places from that. So that's really going to hurt his
Bland,
race.
I think, just trying to get out of the way. Southerners is on a charge now, then up to P4. Predators is up to 5th, so you can see who's gained from this and who's lost out. JH and Czech have gained massively from this as well. They've got a 4.5 second gap to Predators, who's 3rd. So here we go then.
Oh my god.
To the finish.
Oh, everyone's getting so close to smashing into Bland, and they're all avoiding it.
A 10-lap sprint race. Riggsy trying to avoid him now. As I think he's trying to get out of the way, but everyone's just catching him at the complete wrong time. As Guna catches him now through turn 16 and 17, but he does just about get out of the way. And Clock as well, who lost out in the pits, is trying to gain some time and positions back, as he's now on the back of Guna, looking for a move. It's Southerners is a lap down, so I fear he is going to get messed up by the game, but that will surely be rectified by the stewards come the end of the race. Kolka looks like the closest to someone, although having said that, it's Clock and Guna, sorry. So we'll stay on board with this for a lap or so, or for the time being. As Clock is, we've got yellow flags again in the middle sector. I'm not entirely sure what that's for. I think we're just having phantom yellow flags now, as Bunny picks up a penalty. So yeah, basically anyone with a teammate lost out massively in the pits there. So Clock, Bunny, Riggsy all losing out. Ranger even lost out a little bit, but not quite as much as perhaps some of the others there. As Summoners is very close to the back of Predators as well. Have we got DRS yet?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. So Summoners is gaining on the back of Predators. Ranger is a little way back. He's not quite got DRS on them yet, but he has got a rapid Tuman right on the back of him. So don't count Tuman out for a podium yet. There's Ranger taking a much better line though through there. Through the chicane 16 and 17. JH with the fastest lap. Predators with the fastest lap. So despite Tuman now with the fastest lap. So here we go. I think they're just going to keep tumbling. I was going to say, despite being pressured by Summoners, Predators still putting in a really quick lap time. Here we go then. Tuman with the overspeed on Ranger. God, he got close there. Slows it down just about. I was worried they were going to make contact for a second, but just getting away with it for the time being. We've got Kolka now gaining on Lil Wiggy. So Wiggy, who got damage early on in this race, up to P7, so he's had a strong recovery considering the position he was in earlier on.
Hello, what's going on?
Timing board's messing up again a little bit by the looks of things. We've got yellow flags. in sector 2, but no one's
No, nothing's
crashed
happened.
or anything. Another phantom yellow flag then by the look.
Guna's got
Oh,
past Clock,
things.
carry him. Silly Bunny's looking to make a move. This race hasn't gone the way Clock will have wanted, I'm sure. He's now about to be overtaken by Bunny, and he's going to be down to P12 in a second, I should think.
Ranger and Tuman are gaining on Predators and Summoners. But here we go then, Tuman I think going to go for a move on the Red Bull. Down the inside.
Oh, that's way too late.
Completely missed his braking point, and he's going to hit the wall. Yes, he is. Oh, that's a bit of an error there from Tuman, it has to be said. Driver error.
Yeah, he's got
Completely
damage.
missed the
He's missing
braking
his,
point.
he's missing his
Ranger
right
defended the
left hand
position
plate.
well. Ranger did nothing wrong there for defending the position well. Tuman really just messed up. But I think he's got to carry on. As what's going on? We're trying to find some action.
Summoner's too
Summoners
far
there.
back, I think,
well,
to make a
trying to
move.
find some action. There's action everywhere. I'm trying to find action within action.
Predator has no
We'll
ERS
watch this
though,
battle
Harry.
for 10th. We'll watch this battle for 10th for now. As Bunny, who also is very low on ERS, is having a look at Clock. But again, the gaps are big. The gaps are small, but they're not small enough to really warrant any kind of move. As we've got more phantom yellow flags, I think we're probably just going to be seeing them for the rest of the races. Once again, the timing boards mess up. As Summoners has now been put a lap down in 16th. I can assure you he's not in 16th, he's P4, as it's just corrected itself once again. Here we go. The one time we get a race without any sort of glitch, well, that'll be the death of me, I think. So then Ranger's kind of had any sort of pressure that may have been on his shoulders eased slightly, considering Tuman's just got that wing damage. Wiggy's looking pretty close now to the back of the racing point. Is he going to go for a move as Tuman did a lap prior down into turn 14? No, he's not. He's going to wait, bide his time.
Someone needs to tell.
Yeah, go on, James.
I was going to say someone needs to tell Summoners that Predators has pretty much no ERS left. Although I think he probably is about close enough to make a move this lap if you want to.
I'm not sure they need to. Yeah, I've just gone to it. Predator's going defensive already, trying to break the toe of the racing point, but Summoners with this massive overspeed, using his battery up. He's going to go for it down the inside of Predators into turn 2, gets the move done. Very nice move there from Summoners. The racing point up into P3. Predators with 6% ERS. Is he going to be able to hold on? I'm not sure. It's going to be tight. Wiggy now gaining on Tuman, of course. He'll be gaining throughout turns 3 and 4 with that wing damage. The racing point's got the decreased downforce that he'll have, and it's close now throughout the field as Clock is battling with Guna still. This is the battle for P9, P10, sorry, as Summoners is again glitching out on the timing screens. So Clock, picking up a penalty though, trying to get past Guna. He's been behind the Alpha now for the last few laps. But he's again not close enough. We've kind of forgotten about the battle for the lead.
Yeah,
enough.
I was literally about to say the same thing.
Just loitering around a second, but I think again the lack of straight line speed will definitely be hampering check, as Clock's not really got any pressure from Bunny behind, but he's not close enough to Guna. Are we going to see Wiggy go for a move on Tuman? Tuman's still showing some pretty strong pace, despite having that wing damage. So that's really unfortunate for Tuman, because I think he would have been definitely challenging his teammate and Predators for that final podium position. We've got yellow flag sector 3 around the final couple of corners. That's Williams going slowly, is it not? It is Connor, I think, going pretty slowly there. This battle for it's going to become battle for P5, I think. As Tuman gains on Ranger. Polka now joining in on the action as she's right on the back of Wiggy. This is the battle for P7. It's kind of been a recurring theme throughout this race, whether it be in the wet or the dry. It's been, the gaps have been close, but they've not been close enough to warrant a move. Connor is just tiring in the pits. Not a great race for him, it has to be said, as Wiggy now picking up a time penalty. And I wish the timing streams would stop messing around so I could kind of realise what's going on. Alright. Again, Bunny close to the back of the clock, but he's got no ERS. In fact, Guna's lost positions to clock and Bunny. We've missed that. But again, Bunny not going to be close enough to clock this time around. That's the battle for the final points taking position. Although I think Bunny might have a couple of penalties coming to him at the end of the race. Although I shan't speak too soon. The top two need to be careful, as Connors Williams won't be ghosting. So they need to just avoid it if they can, because that would be a horrible way to have your race ended. Or it might be ghosting actually. I don't know. Can't really tell.
Getting reports how that Predator's connection isn't great, but I mean he's kind of not near anyone as such, so hopefully it won't affect anyone. And to be honest, I've not seen anything that would be worth asking him to leave over. But
no, it's a little bit jittery here and there, but like you say, he's not really near anyone. It seems to be coming in dribs and drabs, because he was fine a second ago, and now it's just kind of gone kaput again. So we'll
check
yellow flag.
I think Czech's so close to DRS of JH, but he's not quite close enough. Although having said that,
been like that
JH,
the last few laps.
Yeah, JH has a massive ERS advantage as well, which is going to be extremely useful around here.
Going wide. Oh, Wiggy, that was your chance. Tooman's struggling with the dirty air and the lack of downforce due to his damaged wing, but Wiggy made a mistake and he's not going to be close enough to the racing point. Tooman's definitely running low wings because he gained massively on Ranga down that straight, and Ranga getting a bit loose there as well through turn 15. This is a great battle for P5 between the three of them. Kolka's just drops off slightly to the Mercedes. So here we go then. Despite this wing damage, Tooman putting in a very strong showing. And in fact, 2 laps ago, don't know if you want to start perhaps putting your driver of the day votes into the chat. I could
mine
the field, I think, and say why I think they've had a great race. But here we go then, Tooman down the inside of Ranga into turn 1, bit of contact made. Ranga picking up a penalty as well for his troubles, trying to give Tooman some room. Back up the inside though, turn 3, bit of contact made again between the pair of them. They've obviously got some history between them. And, well, they're showing it out on track. Real grit and determination between the two of them. Ranga holding on to the position for now, but great battling again. Great racing between the both. As we've seen throughout this race, the battles have been hard but fair. And it's been some great racing on display, as Ranga getting a bit loose there, hopping over the curb. But Tooman struggles through that double apex left-hander. And it means that Wiggy gets the run down onto this back straight. He's got a bit more ERS saved up this time. He's got the DRS, got the slipstream. Is he going to go for the move? I think Tooman's going to go for the move on Ranga. We're going to get a view of it here. Tooman breaking late, contact made between the pair of them yet again, and Wiggy's trying to capitalise on it and hits the side of Ranga as they're all jostling position, but Tooman gets through into P5. So Tooman back up to 5th, but Ranga I'm sure will come back at him. It's going to be close though. It'll be interesting to watch as Wiggy's getting involved now, and as is Kolka. Kolka just behind the pair of them. So here we go. Are we going to see another change of position here between these three? As Wiggy actually looks like he's quite close to going for a move on Ranga. Not close enough though this time. But he might have a look through turn 3 and 4.
I think JH has got this one in the bag.
Oh, he thought about it, did Wiggy. I think you're right, champ. I think you're right. JH pulling that gap away now, up to nearly 2.5 seconds. This battle for P5, sorry, is brilliant, it has to be said.
We've got a couple of rates for Southerner and one for Preds for driver of the day so far.
Oh, Ranga nearly losing it.
We've got Gito saying check damage. I've noticed checks dropped off quite a bit from JH side, but can't see any damage to that Red Bull. So I think
that's it now then.
JH is just using the CRS that he had over Czech.
Yeah, it looks like the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th are settled on track anyway. As here we go then. It's JH. He was 2nd place last week, but it's going to be 1st this week as he crosses the line to win the Russian Grand Prix. Check this out, comes home P2. It's going to be Southerners in 3rd for the Racing Point team. Predators coming home 4th for AlphaTauri. Tuman will be 5th. Ranga 6th. Wiggy 7th. Kolka 8th. So no positions changing on penalties just yet. Riggsy goes up to 6th though. Will be 7th. Sorry, it will be 7th. So Riggsy up to 7th. Bunny comes home P10 to get the final points playing position, but I'm not sure if that will stay like that. Clock is 11th. Guna 12th. Jib Jab 13th. Liam 14th. Bland is going to be the final finisher in P15. Kolka and Lewis retired. But it is going to be JH to win the Russian Grand Prix, going one better than last week. Great drive from him. It was a great drive last week as well. Thoroughly deserves the win. Check this out, continuing his good form in P2. And Southerners, great recovery from 11th to extend that championship lead now to 24 points. Comes home 3rd. Of course, his driver avatar won't be on the podium because of the game glitch, but we'll get him in hopefully for a podium interview.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't be too bothered about that, as long as he's got that 3rd place on the final standings. Of course, subject to change with stewards. Preds doesn't seem too happy about losing 3rd due to a glitch, but it was definitely Southern's 3rd on track, so I don't think he can be too disappointed with that.
Right then, I guess we're just waiting for Southerners AI to come round.
Yeah, there we go.
Final corner.
No, it's not.
I think it's glitching out, isn't it?
So should we get on with the interviews, Ike? It's been a long stream.
Yeah, it has been a long stream. So then, there we go. We've got the top 3 in the party. JH, check this out, and Southerners. It's corrected itself now and put Southerners up into P3. Very well done to the top 3, and I'll hand you over to Jan for the podium interview.
Alright then, we'll start with Souveno came home in 3rd place, starting P11. To be honest, mate, I think that was a champion's drive. That was a brilliant result, keeping out of trouble, getting the strategy right, and coming home in 3rd. I believe you're going to get driver of the day as well. You certainly get my vote, and you got a couple votes as well earlier. So yeah, congratulations. And how do you think this result's gonna affect your championship challenge?
It was unfortunately Callum chucked a message in one of the messenger groups earlier saying he had to drop out, so I just knew I had to take advantage of it, especially where I'm a doubt for Austin, so it might eventually even itself out, but I knew in his absence I had to take advantage of it. I knew I spoke to some people earlier that if I don't have any connection or lag problems and I don't get taken out, a top 5 is realistic. So to get a podium is absolutely fantastic, especially considering where I started, where in qualifying for the straight going down on my last quali run, I accidentally left it on Rich and I lost about 2 temps. So that was a bit frustrating, and it dried out a lot earlier than anticipated, so I was really slow in the straights. I had to really be quite brave in the corners, which I'm more conservative, so that felt different. But yeah, it was a much needed. It was almost, I didn't come 1st or 2nd, but I think it was almost the perfect result considering Callum, etc. I think Clock finished out some points. Tuman finished 5th, so points pulled away. Yeah, it was the race I wished for, and I got it.
Yeah, well, as you say, a bit unfortunate that Callum couldn't race, but either way, extending your championship lead.
Yeah.
I'm sure, as I can
Just
tell,
wanna-
you're more than happy with that.
I just want to congratulate actually AH for winning, and of course from a main man check. Nice to see you on the podium again, buddy. Well done.
Yeah, do it.
But yeah, I'm a very happy racing point driver after that.
Yeah, and driver of the day, P3, pretty much perfect weekend. So it seems you didn't start where you would have wanted.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and to hear good words from yourself, it's a massive compliment and an honour. So it's put the smile on my face even brighter.
Too kind. All right, we'll move swiftly on to check then. P2 just couldn't quite get past JH in the wet. We were willing you on in the comms box, but yeah, just didn't quite seem to have that straight line speed. But yeah, overall P2 for you, another podium. How was it for you? A bit frustrating, maybe?
Yeah, I would say very frustrating. I actually had a good start, which I was surprised about. Managed to get up into second. Nice clean, no wing taken. That was lovely. And then it was just so hard to follow in the final sector, and I was just hoping that JH made a mistake, and he didn't, and so I couldn't really get past, especially in the wet. And then obviously I had a wet setup on, so in the dry I had no straight line speed. But still, I think before this race I was really worried about penalties because I've been getting them in every single time, but the only penalty I got was because I got pushed wide in the wet. And then so I was quite surprised that when I was pushing JH at the end, I didn't get one warning, and I was just almost hot lap every lap, which was, quite nice to do. But yeah, fair play to JH, had the pace on me.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, getting a penalty a bit frustrating, but yeah, didn't have a finishing position in the end, which I guess is a big positive. You were showed good pace throughout, and yeah, as you say, P2, a very good result despite maybe having the pace to win it.
Yeah, but what can you do? I'll take P2. Yeah, so cheers, thank you.
All right, we'll move on to our race winner. JH pole and the race win. It was P2 last week, but P1 this week. That must feel good.
Oh, I'm so glad. Especially yesterday, I did the F2 Russia race. Actually spun out Southerners, which I still feel bad about. 2 horrible races in a row. So it's great to win this race and even one up over last week's result.
Yeah, you seem to have hit a nice bit of form towards the end of the season. Is that going to be a sign of things to come for next season, do you think?
I hope so. It seems like whenever I have a flawless race, incident-less race, I do well. But most of the time I end up hitting somebody, breaking my wing. Italy's a prime example. I was the exact same strategy as the race winner. I was the second behind him, broke my wing, ended like 16th. But, I mean, today, check this out, was definitely a faster driver than me. I just happened to be on the right setup. The dry setup really helped me out today. But anyway, yeah, great race, guys.
Oh yeah, pole and the race win doesn't get any better than that.
Did we get a driver of the day?
Yeah, it was Southern.
Okay. All right then, are we good? Is that?
I think that's it. Yeah, I've not got anything else to add.
All right then. So, changeable conditions, and in changeable conditions, it was JH who won the Russian Grand Prix here for SLR Division 1, followed by, check this out, and championship leader Southerners extending his lead with a P3. 6 races to go, or 5 races to go now after this. So it's really coming down to the wire. The championship, it's definitely becoming clearer who's in the fight and who isn't. So be sure to tune in next week for Japan. Of course, we've got the other respective divisions and their races throughout the weekend. But I'd like to thank the top 3 for joining us for the podium interviews, and for all the drivers for providing another thoroughly entertaining race. And I'd also like to thank yourself, Jamp, for joining me in the comms box. But be sure to join us throughout the rest of the weekend, and then of course next week for Japan. Thank you all and good night.